It's the Bronco, our radio. Go to your computer and you hear a great show. Cause we on. Listen in the afternoon, 9 to the morning. Playing all the hits for you to listen to. Live and direct from FSU. Homie, we on. Shorty, we on. Listen in the afternoon, 9 to the morning. Welcome to a new era of the radio. So go ahead and cool out to the sounds of your favorite show. Attitude check, Bronco pride. Turn on your computer and just vibe. And you know how we do, run by the students, so it's all about you. Send your requests, we will get them on for you, that's a bet. And keep you in the know, the information given throughout the show. Take time to listen, tell your friends. If they don't believe it, let them know again. Yeah. Catch the sensation, turn to the new #1 station. Yeah. Go to your computer and you hear a great show. Cause we on. Listen in the afternoon, 9 to the morning. Playing all the hits for you to listen to. Live and direct from FSU. Homie, we on. Shorty, we on. Listen in the afternoon, 9 to the morning.
It's Wednesday afternoon.
I know you've been waiting a long time for this.
Right.
It's here now, so gonna testify.
Amen.
You're listening to a great ghost voice. It's here now, radio waves electrify.
Hey, Chris, turn me up, man. Let me rock out. It's 12 p.m. That means it's time for the RTVS and the intern. So look.
I know you waited and contemplated and conversated on how this show is your favorite, and plus you obligated to only feel what's real coming out your devices. This show is too darn good, man, show me some license. The RayTHOMAS variety show is what you hearing, with which silly interns a lot of commission, with talents gifted to be Pacific. Just take a listen, I bet you feel it before you hear it, is what you missing. The RayTHOMAS variety show, it's on your net, it's on your phone, it's everywhere that you go. The RayTHOMAS variety show, it's on your net, it's on your phone, it's everywhere that you go. The RayTHOMAS variety show, it's on your net, it's on your phone, it's everywhere that you go. The RayTHOMAS variety show, it's on your net, it's on your phone, it's everywhere that you go.
Yep, thank you very much, Michael. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. It is BroncoiRadio.com. We are emanating from historic Fayetteville State University, and just in case nobody told you this week, ladies and gentlemen, it's homecoming, y'all.
Yes.
But that's not how they usually say it on the HBCU campuses. They're like, it's homecoming, y'all. It's homecoming. Can y'all believe it? It's homecoming, y'all. I figured I'd get that in, but I wanted to be louder than that, but I didn't want to overmodulate on the microphone. See, I'm using radio terminology there. Let me turn this thing on here. Okay, yeah. Let me ding myself, by the way. Because you're like, Mr. Thomas, you're using crutch words. You said, twice. I saw your face. All right, welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Halfway through the 12 o'clock hour, I'm he that is him, the heavyweight RayTHOMAS, and my co-host. You can see her with the good light, as usual, the one and only 3-time Emmy Award-winning producer, director, writer, grandma, mother, friend, sister. Also, she's a remodeler, too. And did I mention documentarian? I'm just saying. Her name is Tony McGrath.
Remodeler. What did I remodel?
Your home.
That's Greg.
No.
I don't do anything.
Let me tell you why you are the remodeler.
Okay.
Behind every strong man, there is definitely a 2 times stronger woman. I'm just saying, Tony. You didn't know that?
Okay. Yeah, I pick colors. That's really
okay. So, but you're still remodeling, though.
Process.
I mean, you're part of the process, so that's why I gave you that little kudo right there.
Remodeler.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you. Also, you see her over. Hold on. Let me get my sense of direction right, so I can point this way, so you guys can see my finger. She is all the way over in Zamunda. It is. Who are you, by the way?
Oh.
The intern, Ebony Lawson.
Okay, there you go. Did you see how? Did you see how Ebony spoke into her microphone, Tonya? You know your granddaddy's watching, right?
Yes.
He's like, baby girl, I need you to stop being shy.
I know.
Baby girl, That's how her grandfather speaks, by the way, Tonya. I'm just, doing his voice. Baby girl, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Baby girl, be strong.
Yeah.
Baby girl, open your mouth. Baby girl, make sure you look into the camera. Okay.
I think we get the point.
And then the final thing that he said to his baby girl, I love you. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Tonya. My shenanigans are out of the way. I'm really pumped up and hyped about today's program because we have a very special guest. Definitely, there are
too.
Yeah, there are certain people in the industry that I look up to, and that I really admire. I'm not an idolizer kind of person. I'll never idolize anyone, but there are people in this industry that have inspired me to always make sure that you go out and do your best work. Because you're only as good as your last show. So last show is gone.
Right.
It's today's show. So we, excel for today, right? So yes, this gentleman is one of those guys. And I'm just really super happy because I actually get the opportunity to tell him, because before I left where we worked together, I wasn't able, to share that. Because, when you leave one place and go into another place, you just focus on the next thing in hand, So, yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to let Tonya do her thing because I know she likes to write those long introductions, right? Tonya's like, I'm right here, Ray.
I really didn't write this. I kind of stole this from someone who wrote it much better than I ever could.
Okay.
But yes, Bill Jordan is the handsome young gentleman that you see there on your screen right now. He was the popular morning man at WRAL-FM Mix 101.5 for more than 2 decades. He says he was made to do mornings at WRAL-FM, and his success over the years proved that statement true. Jordan grew up in Newport News, Virginia, and attended the University of Richmond before being terminally bitten by the radio bug. He got his first job at WSSV AM in Petersburg and followed up with on-air stops in Roanoke, Norfolk, Charleston, South Carolina, and Durham. Then he got the call from the radio managers at Capital Broadcasting, and his long career with CBC was born. His career at Mix was full of highlights, broadcasting from London, Paris, the Olympics in France, and Universal Studios and Disney World in Orlando. Along the way, he chatted with countless celebrities, among them Charlton Heston, Richard Petty, President Jimmy Carter, First Lady Michelle Obama, Kevin Costner, Mark Harmon, and we had a little conversation about that before we got on the air, Marie Osmond, and Jeff Foxworthy, to name a few. Jordan says he just tried to live out his life out on the radio, and the best compliment he could ever hear was for someone to say he was like their neighbor, brother, or dad. Bill, welcome to the Power News.
I tell you what, you guys are blowing me away right out of the box. First of all, Ray starts off with emanating from Fayetteville. Ain't nobody I ever worked with said emanate. So, I didn't know I was going to need a dictionary to be on the show. Also, everything that Ray says that Tonya does, she also is tech support, because she told me today that this little thing is a microphone. I had no idea. So if she hadn't have told me, my 14-year-old grandson would have.
Oh, man, that is too funny.
I had no idea. Ray, you're very kind. Tonya, you're like the CIA. I didn't know that stuff about my own self.
Oh, my goodness. You are
man.
hilarious. You are hilarious. So, listen, Bill, I can't even begin to, jump into your career. I'm so just excited about the love that you had for your craft, for your work that you did in radio. So when you got hit by that radio bug, tell me what that switch was for you, and you just knew that this is what you wanted to do.
Well, I've got 2 older brothers, my brother Brad and my brother Terry. My brother Terry went to Virginia Tech and got involved with the campus radio station, WUVT. And I think he went a year and quit and got into radio. My middle brother, Brad, went to the University of Richmond, majored in German, stayed 4 years, got a degree, studied at the University of Munich, and went on to be actually, the German didn't do him any good professionally. He went on to be an Air Force pilot and an Air Force pilot instructor, got out and did I don't know how many years with American Airlines as a pilot there. So as I was growing up, I was going to choose that path. I was either going to go to University of Richmond like my brother Brad, or Virginia Tech like my brother Terry. I kind of split the difference. I went to the University of Richmond like my brother Brad, But I got into campus radio like my brother Terry. And so the first semester, at some point somewhere along the line in the first semester at University of Richmond, I got involved in the campus radio station, WCRC. And my brother Terry said, if you do that, you're going to get the bug and you're not going to study. And he was a prophet. And that's what happened. So basically, I stayed in my second semester at Richmond just to do campus radio. And I knew I was going to quit. So at the end of that freshman year, I wasn't going to do it. My parents didn't have a problem with it. They weren't paying for it. They just told all of us, if you wanted to go to college, we were going to pay for our own way. Here's a crazy sidebar fact on that. So I went to college in 1972 to 1973, the 1 year. University of Richmond at that time cost twice what Virginia Tech cost, and Richmond cost $3,000 a year. Now they cost about $60,000 a year, if not more. So anyway, then I just got in that, I got that bug. My brother, who was in radio in Richmond, cut up what we call an air check. I did some stuff on the campus station. He spliced it up, and I got a job doing all nights in Petersburg at a little AM station there, and WSSV AM in Petersburg. Stayed there a couple of years, and I don't know. It's just that was when we were sponges, and everybody that we worked with, it was a real, I don't want to say like it's not like guys in the military. I mean, where you become a band of brothers, but akin to that in radio, we were bands of brothers and sisters. More brothers at that time. There weren't that many air talent that were women at the time, at least where I worked. There were in the newsrooms, but it was just one big fraternity / sorority, and I truly did love it. It was a love affair for 40 years.
Yeah, if I can
talk a little bit about that sponge, because what we try and do here, and I know that Ray does this with the interns and the students that he has there, is, I remember sitting in edit rooms and just watching until I learned how to be an editor myself. And my mom was a TV producer, and I would just go after high school, instead of doing what everyone else was doing, I would go to the studio and hang out, and I just absorbed everything. And I think that some people can think that, okay, well, I can just do this and I already know what I know. I don't need to learn from anyone else, and then just be on our way. But, talk a little bit about that, because Ray and I talk about this a lot offline.
Yeah, well, in watching my older brother, Terry, on the air, he was at WLEE AM in Richmond, and I would go see him, whether it be at a remote or hang out in the studio with him. And at that time, there were records. There were 45s. There were albums.
Yeah.
Mostly played off of 45s, and commercials were on carts that looked like the old school. Even if you got reference, it looked like an 8-track. People don't know what I'm talking about with that. So I would watch him, and man, he's queuing something up. Something's running out. He's doing this. He had so much going on for 4 straight hours. It boggled my mind that anybody could keep that together. And then, of course, I learned how to do that. It's just, that sponge where you're learning everything. And in fact, my first job, and I just thought of this morning, my first job there in Petersburg, I rented a basement room in an old Southern mansion that had to be there during the Civil War. It was called the Virginia Manor. I want to say it was on South Sycamore Street in Petersburg, Virginia. So I got on the payroll on June 28, 1973 for $85 a week. To do all night. Now, this is summertime, Petersburg, Virginia, no air conditioning in the house, a basement sort of apartment or room. The windows I couldn't open the windows because they had been freshly painted. They were painted shut. Couldn't open them. No ventilation, rats, roaches. I stayed there a month. The day I left, there was a snake in the utility room where I had to go out through a utility room. And it was like a haunted house to me. I hated that place. Years later, I would, like on my 10th anniversary of that first job, 10th, 15th, 20th anniversary, I would call my first boss, the first owner of that radio station, and I would call him, get him on the phone and say, you don't remember me, but I started at your radio station in Petersburg 10 years ago today, and you were paying me $85 a week. And he would always respond, well, I don't know who you are, but you were overpaid. So I learned by, honestly, because my brother was doing it, I mimicked my brother. We sounded enough alike voice-wise that I basically was Bill Jordan doing Terry Jordan. And it took a good while. Isn't it like Miles Davis has a famous saying is about, man, it takes a long time to sound like yourself.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to find just me, and I didn't find that really until I became a morning guy, but I became a morning guy in 1980. And then it wasn't until I got to probably G105 in Durham for 3.5 years and then made the move over to WREL in Raleigh that I really just kind of settled into who I am and truly who I am, and not like doing an act. Because after I started doing my brother, I got out of that when I started doing mornings. Then I was basically doing Rick Dees. You remember Rick Dees?
Yeah.
So I've even got a coworker who said, "Man, you do Rick Dees better than Rick Dees does Rick Dees." So yeah, I just kind of found my own voice. And you know, it's interesting, Tanya, when you say that people are like, you know, I know everything, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And I've worked with people who've gotten into radio, and they think that all you do is just turn on the mic and you just jabber about whatever you want. There's an awful lot of work that goes into it in preparation when you go into a morning job like my last one was, where you've got to have like 17 or 18 or more things to talk about an hour. That takes preparation. And ideally, you know, you start with the end in mind. There has to be an out. There's an open, a middle, and an end. And sometimes you have time restraints. If you want to tell a story, it better fit in 2 minutes.
Right.
It better fit in 90 seconds or something like that. My point to this is to the people who think that there's nothing to it and you're going to do it your way. And that used to, you know, learn from the people who have been there. Learn from their mistakes, learn from their experience. It will save you an awful lot of time. The first morning guy I worked, I did all nights, and the guy who would come on later, we're now friends on Facebook. That's the miracle of social media. But he told me once, he says, "Man, you're trying too hard." And I thought, how can you possibly try too hard? And he was right. You just got to kind of relax into it. And I would say this, too, as you get into your career, whatever it might be, you may hear someone say to you, eventually you will hear, think outside the box. You need to think outside the box. Okay, everybody hears that. Major cliche. Here's my advice to you on that. That's all well and good, but before you start trying to think outside the box, you better be really, really good at what's in the box.
What's in the box? Yep.
Yeah. You know,
That's
basic
awesome.
brilliance in the basics, and that is in any sport or any field, in my knowledge. If you're playing football, if you are really, really good at the basics, blocking, tackling, catching, throwing, whatever, if you're really, really good at the basics, you're going to be hard to beat. And then you put your own spin on it after you get good at the basics.
Wow,
and
that
so
sounds...
those early years, those formative years, and, you know, I'll tell you this, and, you know, Ray, even when we were working, and I said we worked together at Mix, I guess I saw you in staff meetings, and I think, you know, you were doing some, we were in different day parts and stuff. I rarely saw Ray. But, you know, we came together. Everybody was a team. Everybody, and this is another little tip for you. If you can say you have a team, like a morning show team, if everybody is not in agreement with what the mission of that team is, or the vision of that team is, then you don't have a team.
Right.
You've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people just doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm. Those are...
I guess, Tanya, is that a good...
Tonia's...
Yes, this is my universal signal for dropping nuggets. Okay.
Okay.
That's some big nuggets, Bill.
Some big nuggets. You know, you have the opportunity to travel the world and talk to a lot of people, which people don't realize that being part of this industry also affords you the opportunity, if you're good and you pay attention and you do your work, to see the world and to see things that most people don't get to see, and talk to people that most people wouldn't get a chance to talk to. Talk about some of your, I would say, favorite moments and maybe not so favorite moments when you were not in the studio but kind of traveling for your work and doing these different interviews with these different people.
Oh, wow. Well, let's see. You know, my favorite venue, Universal Studios in Florida, in Orlando, has a tremendous setup for remote broadcast radio stations all around, you know. So They really do it right. Disney also had a nice setup. One of the cool things we did when I was working in Charleston, we did a promotion called a Live It Up in LA Weekend. And this was early 1986. And we took a couple of winners out there, and they did stuff, we didn't do anything special. It was just taking a couple of people to LA. But we did a broadcast, my partner and I, who's also my program director, did a broadcast on that Monday morning. It turned out to be President's Day. Harkening back to Rick Dees, we thought when we got off the air, we'd go by Kiss FM in LA and hang out with Rick Dees. Now, Rick Dees has President's Day off. Of course he does. So anyway, well, we did our show that morning from the A&M studios. So the A&M studios, Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass back in the 60s and 70s, and actually Herb Alpert had hits in the 80s. That was where We Are the World was recorded. Remember that? 1985, all the artists came in, We Are the World. Well, we did it from those studios, not that recording studio, but close by. So, we'd go in the men's room. It's like, man, Huey Lewis was in here. Michael Jackson, Bruce Springsteen was in this very men's room, So that was pretty cool doing that. And, of course, broadcasting from L.A. back to Charleston, South Carolina, the show had to start at 3 a.m. That was kind of a drag. So that was an interesting one. Broadcasting from London a few times, and at that time, that was the occasion of when American Airlines started their nonstop flight to and from London. Also, that we did a similar thing to Paris. Those were good because the time was in advance. So in London, for example, we were 5 hours ahead. So they would say, okay, we'll give you a break. You can start the show here at 7 a.m. Well, that's noon in London. We set up in a pub. We broadcast from a pub. We've got these hysterical Brits coming in, doing all kinds of bits for us. We didn't have to do a thing. We just, open the mic and let them talk. Hysterical. The Olympics in 1992, the Winter Olympics in Albertville, France. That was a pretty cool thing. Met Bruce Jenner when Bruce Jenner was Bruce Jenner. And his face was very tight. His skin was really tight even then. But a great guy, just all kinds of great people. The traveling was kind of a cool thing. I don't know. Otherwise than that, I would have never gone to Paris. I probably would have never gone to London. Certainly not the French Alps. So it's allowed us to do some cool things. And, of course, the celebrities, and there's a lot of, excitement about talking to celebrities, but I've found for the most part, they're just people who happen to be an actor or an actress or a musician or a rock star. And for the most part, they've been some amazing people that I've met that just is a good reminder and a good perspective of just be yourself and be kind and get along with people. Some people haven't been, I don't want to name them. Some people were kind of hard to deal with. Sadly, and some of them, every now and then it'll be somebody that you have looked up to and you meet them, and it's it's kind of that line of be careful of meeting your heroes because they may not be what you think. Most of the time, my heroes have remain my heroes. We'll put it that way.
One of the things I particularly enjoy about morning radio, and I always try it when I'm up early and I have to get in my car, I always listening to morning radio. Here I listen to Kiss 108 FM, is the ability for morning hosts to take, stories, news stories, things that are happening in the world, and make it so conversational, and also bring the audience in as part of the conversation. And it really just kind of feels like you're sitting around with a cup of coffee talking with your best friends about things that are happening in the world. And that's just kind of one of my takes. I love morning radio. I don't know what they do in the afternoon and the evening because I'm usually here in my office, but that's always been something that's been very, very special to me. Talk about what you see as kind of the changing, or is there a kind of a changing landscape in morning radio? Do you still listen to it? Do you notice any differences from when you started? No. She says no, not at all.
No, because, and not trying to be negative, but oftentimes when I do hear radio, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but I'll listen and I'll just be kind of like, well, what was the point of that? What was the... Yeah. It was almost just reading a sentence from USA Today or something. You didn't give me your take on it. You didn't give me maybe a funny line about it. it just kind of was there. You know, I tried to, and I think what you're describing, maybe whether or not you realize it, Tonya, is the late, great NC State men's basketball coach Jim Valvano famously said, you know, if you laugh, cry, and think every day, that's a heck of a day.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I would try to make every break at least make someone think, even make them cry, even though a lot of people will think that's a bad thing to make people cry, but you can be moved to tears and people will remember that forever, or you make them laugh. And sometimes you get lucky and you can make them do all three. And if you're going to do all three, make them laugh before you make them cry. If you make them cry, it's hard to then make them laugh. So it's all about that storytelling. And I think, you know, when you read that little blurb, and I kind of remember writing that when I left WRAL in Raleigh on my last morning, I definitely said on the air that I firmly believe, that I was divinely designed for that job at that time at that radio station. For 23 and a half years, I believe that the core values that I had and the station and the company just were right in sync. But how I was designed, I think, is as a kid, it was what I would watch on television. I watched comedies. I watched and recorded stand-up comedians on the old Sunday night variety show, Ed Sullivan Show. I had every comedy album, Bill Cosby, George Carlin. Of course, I couldn't do a lot of his stuff, but Flip Wilson. You know, but I memorized it. So any sense of timing, whether it be comedic or in storytelling, I think I learned along the way, even as a kid. It came very naturally to me, I think, to be able to do that.
Wow, that's incredible. You know, one of the things that I asked the interns to do is to kind of think of some questions, and I'm not going to put you on the spot right now, Ebony, but I want you to start thinking of some questions.
She's putting you on the spot, Ebony.
I am, but I'm going to ask one more question before I put her on the spot. You know, just being in that position, you are oftentimes having to take really, really tough stories and make people feel kind of okay about the world that they live in. And I remember up here when the Boston Marathon bombing hit, it was really, really hard for local radio to not be serious about it. And I remember one morning show host that really kind of put things in perspective in a way that says, you know what, it's okay. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be proud of Boston. It's okay to be, you know, to kind of move on in your life. Can you recall any like really tough stories that you had to help almost translate that for your audience?
It's, again, interesting you would ask that because I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't remember doing necessarily a good job of it. My father died on September 3rd, 2001. His memorial service was that Thursday. I was set to go on vacation the very next week down to Hilton Head. And they said, well, you know, I pretty much had that week off anyway because of my dad. And they said, well, you're set for vacation. Go ahead and go. So we were at Hilton Head, and I was running errands on the morning of Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. And I would go into a store, and it would be like going to a grocery store, and I'd hear two of the workers there, and they're going, oh, yeah, it was a big fireball, and it was a plane, and I don't know what they're talking about. And I get back to the house, and our daughter called us from Raleigh and said, you turning on the TV? Are you seeing what's going on? Well, I sat there like probably every other American for the rest of the vacation watching TV news for seemingly 18 to 20 hours a day, just watching all of this stuff unfold. I got back to work on Monday. On Tuesday morning, I don't remember how I handled it on Monday. Tuesday morning, I actually got called in to the boss's office, wanted to know why I didn't come back to work after 9/11. It's like, you know, well, my dad had just died, and I was in shock. There was a survey, I think Men's Health did a survey that 50% of American men went into a depression after 9/11 because we were helpless. We were helpless, right? Anyway, after that, on Wednesday, I started talking about it a little more, and I don't know if I eased anybody. I think if I recall right, I was told to dial it back even. But I was talking about, each one of these people, you think about the connections that we each have. How many friends each of these people had, family members, extended family members. This affected far more than 3,000 Americans and non-Americans, but people working here and working in the World Trade Center and the Pentagon and, and on that flight that went down in Pennsylvania. So anyway, maybe I got a little heavy then. I don't know if I helped anybody at those times. I will tell you this. I will confess to you that since I left radio, that's when the large spate of school shootings and all this stuff with COVID and stuff. I am so glad that I am not in it because I don't know how well I would handle talking about things like that without everybody's offended by everything now. I don't know if I would survive.
Right.
Just depending on. I get both sides of a lot of arguments. I'm not as black and white in my views as I used to be. There's much more gray area for me as I've gotten older and been able to talk to a lot of people with a lot of different viewpoints. We're all raised differently and come from different backgrounds. So obviously we're going to look at things differently. So I don't have a better answer for you on if I helped anybody through difficult times or not. I know that I have on a few occasions, just singularly on my last day, a guy called, and I apologize, I don't want this to sound like a dig me, but it is the power that you can have when you're on the air. This guy called one day and he told me that he and his wife were having trouble, and I just had encouraged him to, look for a counselor, and whether it's their preacher or somebody else in the marriage counseling business or whatever. And he called me on my last day and said that he and his wife did that, saved their marriage.
Yeah.
So there's little stuff along the way that we're helping people that we don't know. It's kind of like it's a wonderful life. I don't know who we've touched. I still, it's a kind of funny thing about, I didn't know this was a microphone. I did radio for 40 years. I never really understood. I couldn't comprehend that I could speak into a microphone in Raleigh and somebody in Fayetteville would hear it and react to it in real time. It's like I was always just in the mic in the studio. Either if I was doing a solo show and I was kind of just a quote disc jockey, I'm kind of amusing myself. I'm doing my craft. I'm mixing the music. I'm hitting posts and hitting vocals. And then when you've got partners in there, you're coming up with conversations and who's going to end, or somebody would say, okay, I've got a way to get out of this. So you trust them to tell you the out. You want to be surprised by the out, but they'll raise their hand or point, and then you're done. But it's a weird thing to describe to somebody that you can do a break on the air, and I don't know if it works for TV or not, but to do a break on the radio, and when you turn off the mic, you go, did anything I say just make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's like it's in a subconscious part of your mind. You're thinking about something else, but you're talking about something else. It's weird. I've had a comedian tell me that, Brian Regan, who's one of our favorite comedians. Saw him at DPAC a couple of years ago, and we were backstage, and the night before he had done a show in Greensboro. And he told my wife and me, he told Marianne and me that he says, hey, I saw you guys last night. I saw you in the front row, and I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't they come backstage? I got to remember after the show to get somebody to go out there and find them and bring them backstage. I said, you were doing that while you were doing your act?
Yeah, multitasking.
He said, yeah, he's going through his bit, but his subconscious is performing the bit that he's done 1,000 times.
Right.
But he's thinking that he saw me and he wanted to see me backstage. It's amazing how the mind works.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So anyway, as to what you're speaking of, and I probably got a little off track there. My apologies.
Okay.
We don't know how we affect. So again, laugh, think, cry. It could be the littlest thing that you've done that really impacts somebody.
That's
and
true.
that's what I try to use. And that's
medium.
what I try to use. That's what I try to use Facebook and Twitter and Instagram for now. I half kiddingly call it's my little ministry. So if somebody tells me, hey, I saw your post today, it was exactly what I needed to see at exactly when I needed to see it. Mm-hmm. And that happens enough times that makes me keep going, because otherwise, sometimes Facebook, I just assume, blow it up and leave.
All right, Ebony, you are on the spot. You get to ask this radio icon
right.
Anything you want, go ahead.
Well, my question was kind of leaning towards Orlando and Universal. How was it working with them? And what are some of the things that, I guess, what are the good takeaways from that job that maybe you can share with us?
Well, it was interesting down there, too, because the guy who was one of their promotions directors down there I had worked with in Charleston. So we kind of reconnected there. But it was just, they were very radio friendly. They were very, I don't want to say like, well, they had bagels for us when we showed up in the morning. But they just, I mean, they took care of the morning shows. Yeah, the coffees and the bagels, they provided as excellent guests for us, people who worked around the park. I have a habit in my career of being forced to interview entities that do not speak. So it's a little odd when you're talking to a character or something in a studio on the radio and they don't talk. So you kind of like got to talk to yourself. The studio was amazingly well laid out to the point of where I was trying to make mental notes if we were ever going to redo our studios at Mix to just the way they had it, kind of curved table and board so that everybody could see everybody else, but you weren't sitting in a circle.
Right.
Kind of a wild thing to describe. It was just the vibe of it. It was just very radio friendly. Universal treated us great. And the benefit to that is traveling north and south, you don't have to deal with jet lag. Although I still get jet lag traveling north and south.
So man, I'm sitting here sipping on my tea because I'm really enjoying this conversation.
I'm emanating from Fuquay Arena, North Carolina.
Yes.
You gonna learn today, Bill.
I'm not ever forgetting that, Ray. And I look forward to coming to Fayetteville and letting you buy me lunch sometime.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's make that a date. That should happen. That should seriously happen. And an even better thing would be for you to actually come here and be live on the program, but also get to meet some of our students as well too, because that's always a beautiful thing when I can invite, former co-workers or people that are in the industry, so you can share your story and help to, what's the word I'm looking for? Because
emanate.
No, not emanate. This is definitely not emanate, but reiterate.
Educate,
no, reiterate.
Educate.
So it's a Kate word, but it's reiterate. So that rhymes too. The things that I'm actually pouring into my students, because from time to time when you're in my position, you become the pastor or the preacher and you're on your pulpit and your students like, oh, here we go again, Mr. Thomas. Oh. But when somebody else comes in and they echo some of the things that I've been pouring into my students, that's a beautiful thing. And that's what puts a smile on my face, and then they finally have that aha moment and they're like, oh, you kind of do know what you're talking about, Mr. Thomas. So yeah.
That's parenting. That's the same with parenting. Yeah. You tell your kids something, they don't care if somebody else tells them. It's like, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, Mom and Dad had a clue. They had a clue. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just one.
Man. So
what were you going to say? What were you going to pontificate? Maybe
see, another Kate word. It's all rhyming. No, you reiterated. No, there's a lot that you've said today that has helped me. And I know for Ebony, it's very beneficial. And our other intern, Kiara West, is actually in the other room because she usually has class. She gets out a little late. So I know she's sitting over there, but she can actually come into the studio. Don't worry, Kiara, you're not on camera. She can hear us in the other room. So she'll be coming through the door.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes.
Can I interrupt you? Because I know I told Tony earlier, I said I may have gone off track there because I knew where I was going. But this happens a lot when you get to a certain age. It's like, what was I saying? What was I? And you go to lunch with someone and the whole conversation is, what was I talking about? What were you talking about? What were you talking? I don't know. Start over. No, what I'd written down was when I got to Petersburg and I was telling you about South Sycamore Street and living in this old house. A block away was the public library in Petersburg. And I'm just a book nut. I love to read. I've always loved to read. And I went down there, and being new in radio, I was doing all night, so I told you, $85 a week. And I found a book on broadcasting, and I want to say it was So You Want to Be in Broadcasting. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I remember in that book has stayed with me now, even as I do voiceover work. That's the main thing I'm focused on now. And that is the acronym of PEN, P-E-N, like a pen, right? And that stands for poise, ease, and naturalness. Poise,
I like that.
Ease, and natural. And that has stuck with me since 1973. Weird.
Wow.
So,
It's the little
Bill,
things, man.
Do you miss it? Do you miss radio? Do you miss your career?
Here's I'm going to give you a good line. A buddy of mine, we talked, and I was still in radio, and he had gotten out of radio. He was doing voiceover. And I said something about, I asked him if he missed it. And he said, man, I missed it the last 10 years I was doing it.
Mm.
And what that meant was the business changed. Mm-hmm. And when I say that, I mean a lot of the mom and pop operations, a lot of the family group operations got gobbled up by the big box broadcasters,
right,
and by the board of directors and by their stockholders, and they wanted the bottom line, and run it as lean and as mean as you can. So that the heart of radio kind of left it. It used to be when I was early on in it and deep into it. 40 years. It wasn't like the last 30 of the 40, but it was probably the last 10 of the 40. It changed where it used to be an art. I'll give you an example. When I was at WROV AM in Roanoke, Virginia in the mid-'70s, that was my second job, I got to be music director. My goal eventually was to be a music director and a morning guy. So I got to be a music director, and that was back in the 70s. That was some pretty strong stuff. Eagles, Doobie Brothers, Fleetwood Mac, James Taylor, OJs, stuff like that. The Spinners, great acts. If a record came in, and I remember the day, I can see this still in my mind's eye. It was a Friday, it was raining, a package came in, was delivered. I opened it up, it was Elton John and Kiki D, Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
Good song.
I went in, I listened to it, I loved it. Just me, I loved it, put it on cart, took it into the afternoon guy and said, play this. And we played it. Now, to get a song on the air, it's got to go through testing and focus groups and this. It's a science now. It used to be an art. If a song fit the sound of your radio station the way we were sort of a hybrid top 40 and album station. It was really a pretty cool thing. So we didn't have like a top 40, number 40 to a number 1 every week. We would have a heavy rotation, medium rotation, light rotation. So if we liked a song that was on an album, a Fleetwood Mac song, for example, from Rumors, which the whole album is fantastic, we just play that album cut. It fit our radio station. Our job wasn't to make the record companies money. Our job was to make our radio station money. We got listeners by doing it however we could do it legally, then that's what we did. But anyway, those days are kind of gone. And the same with, and I've known some really good consultants, but there's a line about consultants. If you cannot be part of the solution, there is money to be made in prolonging the problem. Because think about it. If the consultant comes in and says, do this, this, and this, and you do this, this, and this, and you become number 1, well, hey, we don't need the consultant anymore. Right. He's out of a job. So he can't fix you, or she can't fix you, but so much. That being said, I have worked with some really excellent consultants.
Yeah.
Did that come close to answering your question?
It did. And my last and final question, because I know we have another guest that we have coming up shortly. Embrace the boom. First of all, I want a mug. So I'm just going to throw that out.
Yeah, we want to support the cause.
Talk about what this is.
Well, I'm glad you asked that too. I've always been a fan of great quotes. And I started kicking around and reading online. You see a lot of quotes and memes and stuff on Facebook, and I get some flack from people who will say, "Hey, man, you post too much. You've got too much time on your hands." And I'll say, "Don't you wish you did?"
Exactly.
So anyway, it started, and I've always liked alliteration, whether there was some kind of a contest on air. I noticed that we got really good response whenever there was an alliteration, like a Thirsty Thursday or a free movie Monday, kind of the repetition of a consonant sound. So I kind of got this idea about Embrace the Boom, that I have felt that there is ageism, not only in broadcasting, but in society, to where, after you hit 50 or 55, and I know women feel it at maybe 40, maybe even younger, that once you get to a certain age, society just doesn't look at you the way they used to look at you, when they're kind of throwing away some vast amounts of skill and experience, mentorship, all kinds of things to those of us who are still older. And I don't think that, I'll be honest, I'm 67 years old. I'm still trying to get stronger, smarter, and lighter. So that's part of the Embrace the Boom thing, is to empower, inspire, and encourage my fellow members of the baby boomer generation. So if you or your mom and dad or your grandparents, whoever it might be, were born between 1946 and 1964, then they are, by definition, a member of the baby boomer generation. So I've got an Embrace the Boom YouTube channel where I've done 15 practices, 15 things that if I do, I try to rotate through those each day. Like number 1 is an attitude of gratitude. Number 10 is calm is a superpower. If you can stay calm, it is amazing what happens. So anyway, and I've got the mug. The mug's at BillJordanEmbraceTheBoom.com. BillJordanEmbraceTheBoom.com. And also some links to the videos and stuff like that. And I've got to get more on that. And I hope, my understanding is my publisher, and Ray, you may remember the name, Mark Grady, used to do traffic for me at Nix. He actually flew in the Cessna. Well, he's got a little publishing business out, well, actually, he's down on the coast now, Western Falls Publishing. So I've got a book called Embrace the Boom that should be coming out in the next month or two.
Nice.
So let me know.
So now you also be
we'll
author.
have you back.
Author Bill Jordan.
Yeah, I've kind of written it. Basically, I've kind of transcribed with a few, tweaks here and there, just from my videos. So it's not War and Peace, guys. It's not like this. You're going to be able to read it within 2 hours. But it's a book that I hope people will keep handy on a coffee table or on their nightstand, in the bathroom, for all I care. Just every now and then, I think you will find a nugget or two in there. And a lot of it is stuff that we've always known, and cliches, perhaps, like, the golden rule is a cliche, but I put a different kind of a spin on that. And after all, cliches are cliches because they're true. They don't become cliches unless they're true.
That's right.
We just kind of need to revisit them. Even as we get a little older, we tend to forget, or we take the cliche for granted and don't give it much thought. And it's really helped me. I hope it is helping some others. And when the book comes out, I hope it helps even more. And Ebony, even for you, and you're a young lady, it's stuff in this and on my videos about it that I wish I had known when I was 16 years old. Truly.
Bill Jordan, I can talk to you for hours.
Well, let's do that.
Remember, Bill Jordan, EmbraceTheBoom.com. When your book comes out, we would love to have you back. Hopefully in the studio, we can talk about the book. You are just a breath of fresh air today. I was excited to meet you, and I've had a really great time talking to you. And can't wait to have you back.
Love to be back. And Ray, I'll get down there. I'd be happy to appear in person, maybe before or after lunch.
Okay, sounds good. Well, lunch is definitely a definite. What's on your menu? What's your favorite menu? So I'll make sure I take you to the right place.
Food.
Okay. All right.
I'm not vegan. I'm not. I eat everything.
Okay. All right.
No. I think I pretty much eat everything.
We have you covered.
Down there, I'm familiar with Carrabba's. Is Carrabba's still in business?
Carrabba's still here, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but maybe there's something more, native mom and pop down there that's really good. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, there are quite a few.
Oh, take them to that Jamaican spot. That new Jamaican spot.
Yeah, do you like island food?
I'm sure I have had it, but I'm willing to give it a try.
Give you a taste of the Caribbean.
They've got chicken, so I'm in.
Yeah, they'll give you a taste of the Caribbean. Anywhere from
jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken, yes, exactly. Definitely so. That's so great, man.
It's been a blast to be on, Ray. It's been an honor for you to invite me, and I tell you, my wife and I have spoken a great deal since we spoke yesterday about your most kind words to me, and they've been quite humbling, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's always good to give the people that you care about their roses while they're here, man, because a lot of times we're doing it, after the fact. So it's nice for people to hear those kind of things, and it's well deserved, Bill. I mean, you've earned it. And like I said, to me, when I got to Mix 101.5, and I'm a big Johnny Carson fan, so Bill Jordan was like my Johnny Carson. So I was like, he's flowing like Johnny would flow. And Johnny, to me, was just natural.
I interviewed Ed McMahon once by phone, and he said, "You remind me of Johnny."
Yeah.
I said, he probably says that to everybody he talks to, but I am still on cloud nine when I think about that.
No. I mean, that he wasn't sugarcoating that compliment, and that's for real. And that's why I tell people about being comfortable and knowing your own voice. And there's a difference about knowing your own voice. And I always tell my students, it's real important that you get into the production studio and you learn your voice. And as soon as you told them the story about how you found yourself, because I told them when I first started radio at Emerson, not in high school, but when I actually got to Emerson and I did my first on-air show, I told them I used to write everything down because I wanted to make sure that I was getting everything right. Because I didn't know who I was as a personality. So repetition, show prep. And then it became comfortable where I didn't need to write anything down because it was all in my head. And then I started finding out who I was. And then there were so many different talents around the Boston market, from an Elroy Smith to a Sonny Joe White to, oh my gosh, Maddie in the Morning, Matt Siegel. All those different people that I grew up listening to, that I took bits and pieces from those people to shape who I was going to be as a personality, because I didn't know who I was. And then it all came together at some point, and then I became comfortable in my own skin. And then that's when RayTHOMAS was birthed.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
There you go,
amen.
man. That's it.
Yes, indeed.
Quite
So
happy to join you sometime. We'll figure out a time.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely our pleasure to have you on the program today, and continue doing what you're doing, Bill, because like I said, you're still inspiring and empowering people, so it's a great thing. It's a great thing. And just with one mug, because you go to his website and you look and you see the product line, and the product is Embrace the Boom, and that's all you need. Keeping it still KISS. KISS.
Simple, stupid.
Yeah, he's still kissing. Yes, indeed.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
one of my practices. I don't recall off the top of my head which number of the 15 that is, but and I also like to say keep it simple, smarty. I get enough people calling me stupid, so I like to keep it simple, smarty. Yeah,
definitely so. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Bill Jordan. Make sure you go to the website. It's www.BillJordanEmbraceTheBoom.com, and go get your mug. And don't order one mug, because if you order like 3 or more, guess what? Your shipping is free. So you want to do that part, so you don't have to pay for the shipping. So 3 or more, So yeah.
Well, they're good stocking stuffers. We just heard that with the supply chains, not everything's going to be available for Christmas. This is.
Oh yeah.
This is.
Yeah, and I love the fact that whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you're still going to be able to embrace the boom.
And here's the thing, too. If I listen in this ear, check this out. This is the cool thing. If I listen in this ear, I hear the Pacific Ocean. If I listen in this ear, I hear the Atlantic Ocean. It's amazing. Truly. It's wild.
Oh, man. And when it's right in front of you, you can drink your best beverage, whether it be coffee, tea,
whatever you want to put in it.
Exactly.
Whatever you want to put in it.
Exactly. Yes, indeed. So yeah, definitely. I got to go onto the site and order my Embrace the Boom, because that's going to be a constant reminder, of who you are to me and how I look up to you and continue to look up to you, Bill. Continue doing what you're doing, man, because like I said, you're doing the voiceover stuff now. That's also an inspiration. It's like, yeah, you're just a great example. And then you're living life effortlessly. And that's a beautiful thing as well, too. That's another thing that empowers people that goes to your site when they see that. The phrases that you talk about putting on the Facebook page and things like that. It's just always just like, it's like Lionel Richie said, it's easy like a Sunday morning. That's the feeling that I get when...
My man, he's one of the guys I met. What a great guy.
Yeah. So whenever you go to Bill Jordan's page, it's gonna feel like a Sunday morning when you go to his page. It's nothing.
That's the one.
It's
Yeah.
nothing rah
I
rah.
like that.
It's nothing rah rah about. It's like a happy place. If I could say that, I'm gonna coin that right there. It's a happy place when you go to Bill Jordan's.
It's a happy place.
A happy place.
I appreciate that.
Yes, indeed.
I appreciate that.
So I'm embracing the boom,
I
Bill.
can't wait to go.
Yes, indeed. Definitely go, Tonya.
All right,
indeed.
guys. I appreciate it. Thanks again.
All right. Bill Jordan.
Thank you. Bye, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to play a song, and then we're going to come back with segment number 2. I have to find my guest. She was attempting to call me while we were broadcasting live, but, I use my phone as one of our cameras. So I was like, I'm sorry, Miss Hill, I can't answer the phone. But I'm going to give her a call, and we'll get right back with segment number 2. Gladys Hill is stopping by, and we are talking about lighting up Fayetteville pink. It's incredible. Here's Vaughn Demetrius, a little R&B. It's BroncRideRadio.com, the RTVS Live.
Kiss at the sunrise, enjoying each other's time, feeding our appetite, yeah. Gazing each other's eyes, high as a Georgia pie, cause we high off each other's vibes, and it's cool cause it feels so right, yeah. You get me, rhythm and blues, piano and bass, it's got a groove, guitar he plays, it makes me move, cause you get me, cause you get me, you get me, rhythm and blues, piano and bass, it's got a groove, guitar he plays, it makes me move, cause you get me, cause you get me, you gave me a melody, a rhythm that moves me, a sound that is so sweet, oh I can't start daydreaming, you're making me feel like we live with the spotlight, it's just me and you on this planet, and it's cool cause it feels so right, yeah. You get me, rhythm and blues, piano and bass, it's got a groove, guitar he plays, it makes me move, cause you give me, cause you give me, you give me, rhythm and blues, piano and bass, it's got a groove, guitar he plays, it makes me move, cause you get me, cause you get me, it makes me move, it's just me and you on this planet, and it's cool, and it's cool, and it's cool, and it's cool, it makes me move, it makes me move, it makes me move. You give me, you give me, you give me, you give me rhythm and blues.
Forever and always is a long time, and that's how long I'll praise your name. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same, I'll praise your name always. you'll always get it. Always. I'll say, Lord, I love you. From the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul. Always. It's thank you, Jesus, for all that you've done and all that you're doing. Always. It's the Lord, I praise you for the rest of my days. I was created to do it. Always. Say always. You will get the glory. You will get the honor. You will get this praise. Always. Always. Thank you for walking with me. Thank you for talking with me. Thank you for healing my body. Thank you, Lord. You've always been right there. That's why I say you'll never leave me. You'll never forsake me. Father, I've seen your hand work so many times, over and over and over again. You'll never leave me, 'cause you're always with me. Always. You're protecting me and you're covering me. You've kept my family. You protected your nation over and over again. Over and over again. Oh, thank you for love. Thank you for healing us. When the enemy came in like the flood, you lifted a standard, and you are our protection. And grace and mercy shall follow me for the rest of my life. Father, you'll always get the glory. Father, I'll always bless you. And Father, I'll always honor you. Oh God, you'll always get the glory. You'll always get the praise out of our life, oh God. I'll love you, oh God. I'll forever tell them your story and your glory. Forever and always.
SparkRadio.com. That is our good friend, the one and only
Woo!
Winslow Ratliff.
I love that song.
Winslow Ratliff. Winslow Ratliff. Oh, I'm sorry.
That song just gives me chills. I
Does
play
it really?
that over and over. That's part of my playlist.
Okay. It's part of your playlist, huh? How long is your playlist, by the way?
is.
Is it pretty extensive?
It's a couple of hours. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me put Ebony back on,
So
on the screen here.
I have to purchase some pink attire because we have Mrs. Hall as our next guest, and this is the closest thing I had to pink. I had on a bright orange shirt. I said, no, I can't come on the air with a bright orange shirt. So I needed to put on a pink shirt. And this is the closest I get, so you'll forgive me. But
Hold on.
anyway,
Wait. Pause.
Mrs.
Pause.
Gladys Hall.
Pause for a second. So it's Hill. I will give
Hill.
you for saying her last name was Hall 2 times.
I'm sorry.
It's Hill. Yeah. And I'm about to let me rearrange our setup real quick. Hold on a second. Because I want her to be closer to you. So hold on. let me coordinate this real quick. Let me coordinate it real quick. Hang on.
Okay.
Bear with me. You know what? It's funny, Tony. She's worried about if her hair is sticking up. Come on, Gladys.
Come on, I got great
No,
hair.
your hair is not.
Your hair is
sticking up.
fine,
You look
girl.
wonderful.
Your hair looks
You look
good.
wonderful. No matter
There you
what
go.
I call you, you look
Bam.
wonderful.
Okay, now that's better. Now she's right next to you, Tonya. Don't that feel more comfortable? Yes, indeed. Now they're all comfortable. Yes, indeed. All right, so Gladys is here, ladies and gentlemen. If you watched the promo, or if you didn't watch the promo, should I play the promo, Tonya? Because that was a great promo.
Play the promo.
You know, hold on. I think I need to download it first. Hang on, my bad.
Okay.
I thought I had already downloaded it, but hold on, I'm gonna drop it down real quick so people can actually see the promo. Because when you see these promos, yes, I record my portion, but Tonya's the one that puts it all together. That's her expertise. That's what she does, y'all. Okay, so this one was a doozy, and we had a lot to cover today, and but she does that like within like about 5 minutes. It takes you. It takes you about 5 minutes, right? Yes, it does.
No, it's
Yes.
like a half an hour.
Okay, well, it doesn't seem like it because I send it to you, and next thing you know, hey, check your
Well,
email.
because I've already done my part, so I'm just waiting
okay.
to plug your stuff in.
So I'm the slow one. Is that what you're saying? You're telling people
Yeah.
that I'm the slow one, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for being the slow one. Okay, so I'm going to put this up on screen, and it's going to take over the entire screen. Hold on. Let me make sure that I have everything coordinated properly. Let me make sure that there'll be no echo or anything like that, because you know our listeners are real particular. Hey, it's echoing. All right. Well, it's not going to echo today, y'all. So I got it under control. All right, so let me go ahead, and here's what Tonya put together for promoting today's program, just in case you missed it.
Hey, what's up, Global Peeps? It's me, the heavyweight Ray Thomas, at the home studio, getting ready to head into the Bunk Bar Radio studios because I am the host of the Ray Thomas Variety Show Live, driven by Cadillac of Fayetteville and powered by our friends at Thumbs United. Hey, don't forget, we are in the month of RayTHOMAS, so you need to stay tuned all month long for some great guest events. And, well, you know, you got to celebrate your boy. It's my birthday month. RayTHOMAS, you know. Yeah, I'm just kidding, y'all. We all know October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and all month we'll be honoring those who have fought this courageous fight. Today's guest is a legend in his own right. My good friend Bill Jordan, legendary radio personality. He's going to sit down with us to discuss his career and offer some advice for the interns. Also stopping by this afternoon, it's going to be Mrs. Gladys Hill. Yes, we are lighting Fayetteville up in pink, y'all. Did I say pink? Yes, pink. She'll tell you all about it and how you can be a part of that as well. Tonya, what else is happening?
NBA star Kyrie Irving benched, not for bad behavior or any off-the-court antics, his personal decision that could cost him millions this season. And Netflix stands by its man, defending Dave Chappelle's new comedy special amid outcry from some LGBTQ plus advocates, artists, and employees. A bold move in this era of cancel culture.
So make sure you turn on your notifications and join us today, y'all. I'm rocking my pink in honor of RayTHOMAS and breast cancer awareness. Can't wait for Bill, can't wait for Gladys, and can't wait for you. It's the Power News on the Ray Thomas Variety Show Live.
It's the Power News on the Ray Thomas Variety Show Live. News you can use.
Oh, she's so thorough. She's so thorough, y'all. She's so thorough. 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 Go on, Tonya. Yes, indeed. Ding, ding, ding. And also, just in case y'all didn't know, I have my light bulb right here in the studio. I wanted to let y'all know that I've been supporting since way before y'all been supporting. So y'all need to get on the boat and start supporting.
I know, but we have to talk about what you're supporting.
Okay.
And that is why our guest is here, Mrs. Gladys Hill.
Hold on, let me correct. Hold on,
welcome.
let me correct you again. It's Ms. See, Ms. Gladys Hill. Don't let her correct you. So I'm gonna correct you for her, because she's like, no. She gave me the finger when you all couldn't see the video on there. She's like, no. It's Ms. Yes, indeed. All right, so we stand correctified.
I'm
all right,
so
Gladys.
sorry, Miss Hill. I typically have more information about our guests in front of me, but we know that this was something that we put together this morning, and I'm so glad that you were able to clear out some of your schedule to come and talk to us about something that is very, very near and dear to your heart. So talk to us about your project, Lighting Up Fayetteville.
Well, I started Light Up Fayetteville 4 years ago. I only expected it to be for 1 year, but it took off, and my first year of starting it, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I spotted a light company, and I went in to ask them to sell me light bulbs for cost. Of course, they donated them to me and still are donating. And I sell them for $5 a piece, and all the proceeds stay here in Fayetteville for women who need assistance paying for their mammograms. And since I started it in 2017, and in 2019, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. But thank God, early detection. So I am 2 years cancer-free.
Amen.
And
Amen.
so if anyone would like to purchase a light bulb, they can go to Mid-South Lighting at 3633 Sycamore Dairy Road here in Fayetteville, or you can call me at 860 748-8267.
She did that like a commercial.
And I know Ray will get all that information out the commercial. So did this idea just kind of come to you? Tell me how this whole Light Up Fayetteville thing even started. Like, how did this idea come about?
Well, I'm still asking myself. I had just moved here from Connecticut, and I always raised money for breast.
New England.
Yes. So, and I was leaving the Red Cross, and I says, "Oh my God, it's September. I haven't done anything for breast cancer." So that's when I spotted the Mid-South Lighting and went in to ask him. I said, when I really came to my senses, I was standing in front of his desk, and I said, "Can you sell me pink light bulbs for cost?" And he gave me that look. And I said, "Well, I like to light the city up pink for breast cancer awareness." So he still gave me that puzzled look, and then he said, "Well, how many light bulbs?" And I told him, and then he says, "Well, I'll give you 500. Oh my God. I thought I was going to have a heart attack because I didn't even know 5 people in Fayetteville. So how would I sell 500 light bulbs? So I went home and I went to sleep, and I woke up around 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was like something said, "You need to get in touch with the newspaper." So I woke up the morning, I called Fayetteville Observer, and of course they told her what I wanted to do. Then the Fayetteville Observer called Mid-South Lighting and the Hospital Foundation, and it started from there. And then City Council somehow got involved in it, and it's been going since 2017.
Yeah.
So who exactly are you selling these to? Are businesses putting them up in their storefronts? Are governmental offices putting up? Where can folks see the light bulbs?
On their front porch. If you go downtown, you'll see a few places lit up in all different areas of Fayetteville. And my goal is to one day have the entire city of Fayetteville lit pink.
And we're going to make that happen.
That's a good idea.
We're going to make that happen.
That's awesome.
And see,
So you mentioned that in 2019 you were diagnosed with breast cancer. How are you feeling? I know that you've been cancer-free for 2 years. How are you feeling?
I feel fine. I got to be careful how I say this. I didn't have any bad side effects of any bad time. So the way you see me and hear me today, I was like that through this whole thing. But it's really funny because when I went to see the surgeon was trying to explain to me exactly what was going on, and my brain was like, "Oh my God, how am I going to juggle this? I just ordered 1,600 light bulbs. I'm going to have to go through chemotherapy, radiation, yada, yada, yada." So when I'm talking to the doctor, she goes, "You need to calm down and stay focused." So I said, okay. So she explained to me exactly what she had to do. And we did that, and I'm perfectly fine. I didn't have to have chemotherapy, but I chose 16 days of radiation because my cancer was non-invasive. It's called DCIS, and it's in the milk gland.
Yeah, you can say that.
It's in the milk gland, and it's non-invasive, and it will not attack the breast that it's in, nor will it go to the other breast or anywhere else in your body. It stays in that milk gland until it can't push anymore. Then it could get out and get into your bloodstream. And that's why I try to tell women early detection. But then there's another glitch too, that we're always told to look for lumps. Can I say this?
Yeah.
So when you get out of the shower in the morning, take a look at your nipples to see if there's any discoloration, if it's indented, anything that's not normal, then you know you should get in touch with your doctor.
Right.
What is
That's
the
right.
earliest age that you can go get tested?
I think it's 40. It used to be 35.
It's 40, but I was actually watching CBS this morning, and they were doing a report that younger women are now being detected with different types of breast cancer. Women that are in their 20s and 30s, and so now there's a great debate as to whether or not women as early as maybe 21, 25 should start getting some kind of routine breast mammogram, rather. I know I have to go every 6 months because I do have a lump. It is benign, but they want to check it every 6 months. They don't think that it's going to turn into anything, but they are checking it very aggressively every 6 months. The most uncomfortable thing that I've ever had to go through, but I have to remember that breast cancer would be even more uncomfortable. So this is what we have to do. So this is what we're really trying to do in RayTHOMAS, is really kind of get the information out. And Ebony, for questions like yours, this is really a great platform to talk about that, because it's so important. And let's also remember that this does not just affect women. This can affect men as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's important, as Ms. Hill mentioned, when you see anything different in your breast, if you have a partner and they're saying that something looks different or feels different, that is the time when you need to go and call your doctor and explain the situation. And hopefully if you're in a system, a good healthcare system, area, whatever, they will react right away and get you in there. You are your best advocate, so you know your body better than anyone else.
Right.
So it's really important to stay on top of that.
Hey, Gladys, this is all about you. You can say whatever you want to say today, girl.
1 in 8 women will end up with breast cancer. And now the rate for women of color getting breast cancer is up 41%. All women have dense breast, but we as women of color, we have a thicker density. And if you're overweight, like I am a little myself, the cancer can hide behind the density and the fat, and by the time we're diagnosed, we're either stage 3 or 4.
Yes.
But they're doing a test, and I haven't been able to get in touch with the doctor yet, of why the density in women of color is so thick, and they want to know, trying to do this research, and it's done at different hospitals. And I read that article in 2018, I think. And I tried to call the doctor, but when I called, she had went out of town. And then by the time she came back, this pandemic was here. And then there's another doctor that I would like to speak to down in Duke, because I can go out and raise all the money. But if I'm not educating you on what to do,
right,
then what good is the money?
Oh, yeah.
You have to know.
That's right.
So hold on. Speaking about the money, Gladys, I want to talk about the money a little bit, because you started, obviously in the first week, you guys had started, and then you guys were already up to like $2,000, right?
Yes.
And your goal is usually $10,000?
Yeah.
So that was the first week. So I need you to tell the people where you are now with your goal.
Well, I should be over 3,000.
Okay.
But I haven't given a second count, because Saturday I had an event and Sunday I had an event.
Right.
So what I do is I just go out and set up a table and sell my pink light bulbs. But we're over 3,000.
Okay.
And then I don't know how much is at Mid-South Lighting, because they sell them out of there also.
Right. So here's the thing, and I was hoping that you were going to bring a box up today.
They're in my car. I'm like the
Okay,
medicine.
that's okay. No, that's okay.
No, I'm like the medicine man. I carry my light bulbs in my car.
You got liquid light in your car.
That's right.
Okay, all right. So here's what I want to do today, on behalf of the Power News, the RayTHOMAS Variety Show Live, and Bronco Eye Radio, and Hull Bay Productions. What I wanted to do, I'm going to buy an entire box from you.
Oh, great.
Yeah, a whole box, because it comes 24 in a box, right? That's what you said.
Yes.
So that's 2 dozen
Yes.
in a box. So I'm going to buy 2 dozen today.
All right.
All right, and you take cash, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to give you the green stuff before you leave here today, because we want to do our part. And we also, we're going to go across campus, too, and speak to the powers that be, and see if we can't convince them in making a contribution, or even attempting to light up the campus pink.
That would be great.
I can't speak on their behalf,
Well,
but I'm just telling you that I'm going to do my job and go over there and have that conversation and see what they can do. But I know from the radio station, we are definitely partnering up with you, and we're going to support. So from the radio station and Hull Bay Productions and the RayTHOMAS Variety Show Live, that's going to be our contribution. We're going to buy the entire box, because I know Tonya wants me to send her pink light bulbs. Because a lot of times she be doing stuff, and I'm like, so I got to hold up my end of the bargain too.
Oh, but thank you so much. Maybe you should start that up in Boston.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe we need to have this conversation, because that sounds like just something that is so important. And when you talk about awareness, what's better than having a pink light in your face to make you aware of something that is still killing women every single year at astronomical rates.
Mm-hmm.
And just lastly, you had mentioned something about the dense tissue that women of color, Latino women, have in their breasts. And if you can, you should ask for a 3D mammogram.
I get one.
Yep. So if you're out there, if you're listening, if it's your time to get a mammogram, you should have the option to get a 3D mammogram. Women with dense breasts, this is a better look at your breast than just the traditional 2D scan. So I just wanted to put that, only because you mentioned that, I want to put that. Ms. Gladys Hill, thank you so much for your work and your contribution to this really important cause. We really hope that we can get Fayetteville State University. I'm not a staff member, so I can say, y'all need to do your thing.
Yes, indeed.
Put 'em up.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, hopefully we can light the campus pink. At least we can light the studios in here pink. Yeah. So once I get my light bulbs, all these.
That'd be cool. Next week we can have a pink studio.
Yeah. So we're gonna work that out. Actually, I'll put them on the back track lights so you can actually see them. That's behind me. Hold on, let me slide this out of my view here on my camera. But that's what we're gonna do. And hold on, so I wanna hang on a second, because hold on, y'all. This is my special envelope that I carry around with me from time to time, y'all. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? So hold on. So look at here. Look what I just found in that envelope, y'all. It's what we call a C note, right? You can see the note. It says 100 right there. Yeah. Okay. So she's like, okay, but it's 120. You're 20 short. So there is another 20, right?
Yes.
And I know you walk around with change, don't you?
I do.
So
and I got Cash App.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Well, I'm not going to Cash App it. I need you to have the cash in your hand.
Okay.
I don't want there to be no electronical delays or anything like that. So who's this president?
Electronical, you need to ding yourself. Electronical is not a word.
It is today. That's a Rayism, girl. Don't you know? Nobody told you. Look at that, y'all. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Who's on the $50 bill, Tonya? Who's on the $50 bill? Who's that?
Andrew Jackson.
Yes, indeed. Well, is it? No, it's not Andrew Jackson. It's not Jackson.
Who is it?
You can't see that. I have it on camera. Oh, hold on.
No, you're not showing me the name, though.
Hold on. I'm attempting to get it right. Hold on. Wait.
Okay, well, you're not getting it right. Okay, now go up. Hamilton? I can't remember. I don't know. I don't get $50 bills and $100 bills.
Oh. I'm granting you the right to get change for this 50. So yeah.
Oh yes, Grant.
Yeah. So
right.
so here's my purchase for on behalf of BroncoEyeRadio.com, the RTVS Live, the interns, as well as Hull Bay Productions, which is Tonya and Greg McGross's company. Okay. Yes, indeed, because they partner up with us. We do all this together. So yeah, we're making that purchase on your behalf. Okay. So
well, thank you so much.
So yeah, and I need my change. I need my change, Miss Hill. Okay?
You're not giving a tip to me.
No. Here's the tip for today. I need my money. I need my money. Yes, indeed. So she's the tip. And this is my special envelope. You're like, Ray carries a special envelope? Yeah, and it has special dollars in there. Let me put it back in my back pocket. Because there's some... I should have swiped with my gift card that I got from the university.
Your Bronco Express card?
Yes, indeed. Well, we call it the gift card when you're faculty and staff. You guys have Bronco Bucks. Yes, indeed. Look at that. She's making change right now, Tonya.
I don't have enough change.
Okay, you don't have enough, huh?
But I'll come back.
No, it's all good. I'm going to give you your 20 before you get out of here. I just didn't want to go into the other pocket. Then people would know that, you got another pocket? Yes, indeed. You got to have money pockets. Yeah, I'm just saying. All right, so there it is. It's a purchase. It's a done deal. So yes, I've just bought a whole box of these on behalf of Bronco Eye Radio, Hull Bay Productions, and the interns and the RTVS Live. And you need to do the same thing too. And the way that you can do that is actually by going to her Facebook page. It's right there on your screen. It's Light Up Light Up Fayetteville Pink. Right? That's the page.
Yes.
Right? And you'll see that it says charity underneath it. So that's the right page, right?
Yes.
So you go to that page, and all you got to do is spend $5 to get you a light bulb so you can light up your home. But you're probably going to want to spend more than $5. I'm just saying, if you go there, you might as well spend $25 so you can light up multiple rooms in the house. You just don't want to light up one room or one walkway or something. You want to light up the whole house. And then you might even want to splurge on getting your neighbors some. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, make the whole neighborhood pink. I'm just saying. And by the way, not only can you go to that page, but you can also Cash App it. Cha-ching. She just said she has Cash App. It's right there on your screen. You see it. It's Cash App Light Fay Pink. LIGHTFAYPINK at Cash App. Okay, so make sure you do that. It's only $5. I'm like, think about it. You do some nails, that's about $55. You get some hair, you get your bundles, that's about $120. I'm just saying. Come on now. I'm just saying, right, ladies and fellas? Come on, you want those new kicks? $150. I'm just saying. Now let's do something that's going to be substantial. That's going to make an impact on our community. We're going to light up Fayetteville Pink. All right.
All right.
I feel like a salesman today.
Hey, listen. Before we let Miss Hill go, and I just want to be able to just say hello to the folks who have tuned in today. Will Glass, hello. Yolanda Barnes, as always, hello. Paul Murray. Danarelle Duce Ancho Hamlet.
That's Denarian Hamlet.
Right.
That's my little nephew there. Yes,
okay.
Just call him Ham. Yes,
okay.
indeed.
Nakia, Carla Foster, hello. Nakia had a couple of comments on this subject. She said she lost her aunt to triple negative breast cancer and her cousin to breast cancer. They were both warriors. As a result, she has started getting mammograms in her 30s because of her family history. So that's another important thing. Know your family history during this time. So I just wanted to quickly say thank you for everyone who has tuned in today. We were going to have a conversation about Dave Chappelle, but we're going to hold that till next week. If you guys have watched his latest Netflix series, The Closer, I would check it out, and then you can
watched it last night,
in the conversation next week.
Yep.
And that is all we have for now.
All right. So yeah, and also don't forget, Tonya is also in production of her latest documentary that she is working on, More Than Our Skin, and we'll definitely have some more information, updates on where she is with that as well too. All right. And now, are you related to Nakia Harris McGrath?
I am not.
Okay, I mean, you guys have.
I'm interested in finding out where she is because it's such a unique. It's actually my husband's last name.
Yeah.
But Nakia, you from the Virgin Islands?
No, she is from Fayetteville.
That must be one of Ebony's. Is that a relative or?
Oh, that is a Sora.
Okay.
She's an alumnus from Fayetteville State University.
Okay. Yes, indeed. All right, Nakia. You never know. It's a small world. Small world. Need some small change. Miss Hill needs some small change. All right. So Raymond, appreciate you, man. So hold on. Let me get this off the screen real quick. So Tonya, by the way, if people want to contribute to helping you in making your documentary, there are ways that they can do that as well too. Correct?
They can. Just simply go to morethanourskin.org. Before you donate, why don't you listen to some of the stories that we're going to tell? We have trailers up on the website. That's morethanourskin.org. Learn about the 5 incredible women who are sharing their stories, some for the very first time, to talk about what it means to live with vitiligo, the autoimmune skin disease that attacks the pigmentation. There is no known cure. There's no known understanding as to why it affects some people versus others. We have talked to medical professionals as well as the women who are sharing their stories. We'll have some answers when this film is complete, but it's an extraordinary story with some extraordinary women. morethanourskin.org. And thank you for your support. Independent filmmaking is a labor of love. It is quite hard to do. I am thankful for my husband for just allowing me the opportunity to do the things that I love to do. But it also requires the support of people like you. So I want to say thank you in advance Please check us out. It will be debuting hopefully on Netflix next year. Huh?
Yes, indeed.
But
Hey, so
going
let
out
me do
with
this
this
before we go as well too. I wanted to put this up there. Let me block my face real quick, and there it is. Bam, you see it. Just in case, I'm gonna put it on full screen. It's homecoming week, y'all. It's homecoming, y'all. It's homecoming, everybody.
It's homecoming.
Homecoming. All about the blue, y'all. Yes, indeed. Homecoming 2021. Yes, indeed. If you want the full schedule, all you have to go is go to uncfsu.edu/homecoming to get the full 411. You hear I said that 411? 411. So yeah, you guys go ahead and do that and make that happen. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I'm gonna put us all on big screen real quick. Hold on a second, so all four of us can be on screen, and we can say our goodbyes, because I have to actually go to a class and judge a presentation. Yes, indeed. All right, so here we are, all four of us. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you share this video, man. Great program today. Great conversation from legendary radio broadcaster and a good friend Bill Jordan, as well as the one and only Miss Gladys Hill. Don't get it twisted. And rocking that pink. We are lighting up Fayetteville pink. Yes, indeed. And come on, go ahead and get your bulb. It's only $5, y'all. It's only $5. It's only $5. I'm just saying. All right. Miss Hill, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, always a pleasure. All right. The intern?
Yes, thank you. Want to give a shout out to my dad. He's in Orlando, Florida, and I know he's listening on the phone. So
On the phone?
Yes.
On the phone. What's his name? Tyrone?
Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland. Tony, you remember that from back in the day, On the Phone with Tyrone? It's your friend Tyrone on the phone. Yes, indeed. It's Cleveland on the phone. Call Tyrone. Yes, indeed.
Call him.
Yes, indeed. Also, big shout outs going out to my homie Carla Foster. She says, hello, everyone. Yes, indeed. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Yes, indeed. Nakia, we hope. Yep. Thanks for tuning in, Nakia.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. That's your sorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Now you see your plots is painted and all that.
I did. I was so happy about that.
Yes, indeed, Tonya. A lot of homecoming stuff going on up here at Fayetteville State University. And the campus is just buzzing.
It is.
And today, by the way, it's Wednesday, y'all. It's Fried Chicken Wednesday, and they're having a special over there at the cafeteria right about now. That's why all that music is going on campus. It's just a big party, y'all. It's a celebration. It's legacy. It's
steak
res non verba, deeds not words, y'all. That's how it's going down. It's homecoming, y'all. It's homecoming. And of course,
homecoming.
That's right. I'm rocking the pink on behalf of my co-host Tonya, who wore the coral today. It's close to pink. It's a relative of pink, but it ain't pink. Yes, indeed. But I'm rocking it for you. But I'm rocking it for you, T. That's what the flower.
Thank you.
Flower smells so good. Yes, indeed. All right. So make sure you tell the ones that you love them while you still got them around, because tomorrow is promised to no one. And so I figured we leave you with something. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, because I'm going to go ahead and speak this into existence. You are going to reach your goal of $10,000. Miss Hill? Yes. Your will be done. That is the song that we're going to leave you with from my good friend Jules Witherspoon. Until next time, Kiaka Hana Kiaka means I'm always thinking about you. Bye-bye, everybody. Be blessed and be highly favored.
Bye.
Yes, indeed.
Broken hearted and confused. I know you see us. I know you're true. Every word you say comes to life before these eyes. But all I see is death, and it pains me deep inside. It's so hard out here. I wanna live, but it's not certain. I know in the end the suffering will be worth it. If it's possible, let this come pass from me. Let this come
too long. I just want the world to hear my song. Your will be done for my life. Your will be done for my life. Hate won't win and love will stand. Before I die, I'll be all I can. Your will be done for my life. Your will be done for my life. Battle scars, broken hearts, tribulations. If I walk in your name, I know you'll help me make it.